Hey there, YouTubers. CJ Purchase 1996 here. Today I have not a great video for you, but this is not a great video for me, but maybe for you. This is Project Unfuck My Truck. As you can see, it's a little fucked. I hit a deer going like 45, and it chooched it a little bit, a little tad smidge. So yeah, we're gonna unfuck it. So we can see it bent this, the bar here. Obviously, there was hair hanging here. It hit that. This is not working anymore, this fog light. Headlight, all the tabs broke on the headlight. Biggest thing is this fender curled in, you can see. And yeah, it's a lot of fun stuff going on over here. So I zip tied it. This happened like 2 weeks ago. I zip tied this up so that because it's dangling a little bit. I ordered it and the fender got it painted, and I bought a ARB front bumper, but the mounting kit without the mounting kit. So I bought the mounting kit. A whole bunch of bullshit happened with that on the company I bought it from. So I ended up trying to cancel that order. I'm still disputing that ridiculousness. So I bought it from 4-wheel drive parts. They haven't shipped it yet, so it's kind of annoying. I either will rock no front bumper for like a week while I wait for that, or drive one of the other cars here, one of the shop trucks or something. So today I'm going to take this bumper off, take the winch out, take the fender off, get the holes drilled for the snorkel, which I didn't show a video of in the first place, but that'll be a fun thing to do. So we're going to do that, and yeah, I'll keep you updated along the way. I'm getting rid of this. I'm probably going to sell it on the forum, this hefty Faz. I'm not really happy with it anyway. So yeah, follow along, and I will update you as we go. Alrighty, guys, we're getting this winch bumper off here. It's pretty simple. It's just 4 bolts up top, and then there's 3 under here. And I had to take this worn fair lead, doesn't fit. I actually had to custom fit that with the mill some both faces down. This winch is also really jammed in there, and on the new ARB, it mounts on the face instead of on the bottom like this. So you have to clock the handle a different direction, 90 degrees counterclockwise, so you can still reach it while it's in the bumper. But that's kind of how this works. I was never really happy with this bumper. All this damage here was from before. Like, it just really didn't fit well in my mind for the price I paid for it. But we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna get the bumper cover off. Then I'm going to pop the hood, check out this headlight situation, and the inner fender liner there. Well, the inner fender liner is gone, but the front of the fender right there. So I'll get to that. Alrighty, so we've got the front bumper off completely, and I was right. Every single tab on this light was broken, and the bumper was holding the light on. So as soon as I cut the bumper free, the light started hanging. I had to pull all the switches. I should have done that before, but you live and you learn. So this is the damage. Broke the support thingy-bobber, this stinger. Broke the outer bumper support, barely. Folded this, it's called a fender bracket, and I actually have one. I bought one online, so that's painted. I just put another clear coat layer on it. So this is very clearly bent. So at least it's not this whole support bucket that's bent. It's just this pinch weld here. So I'm probably just gonna take the fender off. Take the snorkel off, take the fender off, and then I will just grab here by this bent bracket and bend this back straight, and then I'll unbolt it. and bolt a new one on there. So it could have been very costly if it dented any of this bucket or this support, because this is all, I guess this is bolted on here, so that wouldn't have been too bad. But everyone on the forums were like, oh, the car's totaled, blah, 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 just file an insurance claim. But I don't have collision. I have the cheapest possible coverage I could get. The legal minimum of what you need is what I have. And I've saved so much that this whole cost outweighs the paying for, and then your rates are raised. So it's just, and if you know how to work on anything, it's really not rocket surgery. It pays to do it yourself. But yeah, this is the winch setup. I wasn't never really happy with this. This is touching the power steering line. I don't like that. So the new bumper, I hope, won't do that, and I will have to wait for that. That's the only downside. If this company didn't mess up, I would have been able to do this all today, and I'm kind of upset that happened. So yeah, didn't even break the washer reservoir, didn't hit any hard lines, literally just that fender bracket, which is great. And that fender bracket was $40 online or $80 at the local dealer if I wanted to go through them. The only thing I need now is the fender liner for this side. But yep, that is and I probably need a fog light. It's broken, or at least it's jiggly on the inside. But this bumper, I might try and stitch weld this, like the plastic welding back together. Because with the new ARB, you literally use like the top 4 inches of the bumper. And I don't want to buy a whole new $300 bumper just to use the top. So I'm either going to live with it being cracked here, or glue it, or epoxy, or the like the hot wire that you stick into it. Because this whole bottom gets cut off. So, all right, y'all. This is the snorkel off. It did get a slightly dislodged, so I had to take it's a good thing that these studs, I'll actually show you on this fender, or on this snorkel. I really love this snorkel. This is one of the coolest looking snorkels I've ever seen on any car. And the bolts are actually studs. They're the shittiest quality, but you can unscrew them. So I was able to unscrew them, and I'm gonna cut them in half. This is all unthreading under there, because it only needs this much. You can see where it's discolored, and this is all you just have to unscrew by hand, and it's a pain in the butt. I did have to run all of these through a die when I first got them. They would not fit the nuts, so you can either just buy your own half these size, or run those through a die and cut them in half. It was a lot more work to run them through a die and cut them in half. But we can see now I can take this off. I'm going to take the entire fender off, and then I can spot these. Oh, this is a little loose here. Don't know why that be. I'll tighten that down. Because I don't have a stencil for this anymore. So I have to use this to spot through on the new fender and get all these holes lined up decently. I could make all these bigger in the new one. They're kind of jacked up. I might just go a size bigger, because the fender washer on the thing is huge anyway. So they are kind of annoying having to like tilt the snorkel to get them in these holes. But other than that, this is like, I actually take this off fairly recently, so it's probably like 6 months of it on the car. It's got all this stuff under it, but I painted the rim when I cut it, and I don't see any rust. But now I have to get the fender off, and it did not pull any. There's just like brass nut inserts melted into the snorkel, and I don't think it ripped any of them out. And if it did, I'll just heat it up with a soldering iron, push them back in. But now I can also get to up here to take that bolt out in there. Got to take all the bolts out up here, and maybe just cut this off with a angle grinder here or something, and then figure out that jazz down there. But it's coming along, and we're gonna keep plugging away. Alrighty, fender's off. Last bolt, and I broke the head off, so I gotta drill that out. But this is what a 4Runner looks like without a fender. This, again, is pretty chooched. This pinch weld is all this bent, so I'm just gonna basically just do this and bend it back. So I'll do that, and I have the new one painted already in the back. This looks like it's a little bent too, but I don't care that much. There's the old fender. I got some parts I gotta get off of it, but other than that, we're coming along. All right, guys, here we are. We have the new fender on-ish. I got the top here lined up pretty darn good. I broke the bolt head off of that, so I had to drill it out, and I'm going to use a 1032 screw and nut on that, bolt and nut. I don't have the, as you can see, I don't have the stencil for the snorkel anymore, so I took the other fender, I measured from the end here. I put tape about where the holes are, and then I measured from a datum. I just used this end as a datum, measured the 3 lengths on both, and guesstimated where the tape was, and then I did the top here as a datum for these 4, and for these 2, I used this square hole as a datum. I have a pair of 24-inch calipers, and I just got those distances. This was a little more iffy. I'm still not 100% sure where it is. It's about here. There's an X and an X. They're about 100th apart, because I took the gasket off of the snorkel over there. There's like a 3M gasket that sticks on, and I lined it up with all these holes, and it had to shift back. And I shifted a couple of these holes too, because the stencil is like a in a perfect world CAD scenario, but this is a panel that's sheet pressed. That's a piece of plastic that's molded. So everything has some tolerances. So the holes were shifted a little bit on the existing fender, the one that got smashed. And so I moved them slightly, corresponding how I want. The front fender bracket, I bent this back. That was pretty easy. I just, like I said, I took off that fender, grabbed this, bent it back, and then painted it, because it was really, that's what this is, not blood, this is paint. It was pretty rusty under there, so I haven't tightened it down yet. I just kind of want to get this fender where it wants to be, and then I will probably get the headlight in here and see where this wants to be, and then I'll tighten these down and do all that jazz. But I'm gonna cut holes on the truck, because it's just easier than holding this big obnoxious panel on a table and kind of like chasing it around. It's not going anywhere when it's on here. It wasn't too bad when it was the first time, but we're chugging along, coming along pretty good. The only thing left now is to take this winch out, take that bumper off, and I'll probably have to pull it outside and park it in the parking lot for a week, depending on when my bumper bracket kit gets here. But yeah, I got to close the hood and check the body line. So everything's pretty adjustable. You've got some adjustments here. I basically copied this, made sure that this touched, this lines up nice, and this you can kind of dial in pretty good. It's not rocket surgery. I'm going to have to work on this bottom a little bit. I haven't put the bolt and nut in there yet, so that's fine. And then this front is going to kind of hang where it wants to, and then I'll just mount this bracket up to where it wants to be. So yeah, I will keep going, and I'll get the holes drilled for y'all. Alrighty, I've got the headlight in. That was not that hard. Again, it's sheet metal, so it's not precision anything. You see there's like a pretty decent gap up here. It's real tight in the corner, and then there's a pretty decent gap down here. And that's kind of what I have over here. You see there's a big old gap up here, tight in this corner, and then it's actually pretty tight down here too. But everything worked. I actually just noticed this was broken off. It was still bolted here. I took that off. Obviously, that was noticeable. Here's all the broken tabs. my tab collection. So literally every tab off of the headlight broke. The bumper was holding the entire headlight on. So it's a good thing I didn't just rip the bumper off that night, because I was able to drive this for like another week or two. So yeah, these are all the mocked up thingers, and I'm gonna just about to drill those. I'm gonna grab some dinner, come back, and probably drill those out. But it's done. I fixed all of the deer problems. Literally the only thing I had to do was bend this front bracket in forward. So it was perfect. Like, I couldn't have paid the deer to hit me in a better spot, besides not paying and not to hit me. But fitting the fender and everything was not super hard. Just close the hood, see where it is, push it around a little bit. I did get that bolt in the bottom here, so it's just a socket head cap screw with a washer. I'm not in love with this panel. Doesn't line up outwards the same, but I put a washer back here as a shim, and it's better, but it's not as good. The body line itself, the panel gap is really good. The panel gap up here is really good. This matches really nice. This matches, all of this matches nice. I'm proud. I'm happy of that. I did a pretty good job. I'm not an auto body guy. I'm more of a mechanical, working on things guy, but it came out pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I could have fixed it back to the way it was for like $1,500. The fender was $260, this was $270, and then painted was another $300. So basically $360, or what is that? $250 plus $300, $550. We'll call that $600 just for even math. $600 plus $250 is $750, and then another bumper would have been $350 plus another $300 for paint. So we're up to like $1,200. I could have fixed it and had it back to where it was for $1,200. I'm going the little more expensive route with the ARB bumper. So we will see that next. I'm gonna cut all those holes. I'm gonna mount the snorkel, do all that, get it back to its beauty, and then I'm gonna tackle taking this winch out, taking the bumper off, and just waiting really at this point. This was just flopping around in here loose. I just added this bolt and nut because it looks like one of these little pressure things is the only thing keeping that in there. So that was just flopping around. I don't know how long it was doing that for, but I'll probably end up taking that out, because I think with the ARB you end up taking all that out anyway. So I'm gonna have to watch some videos on the ARB bumper installs. But I actually didn't check if any of the lights work. I don't see why they wouldn't. They all worked before. I think this marker light was burnt out. So I just replaced it. I have bulbs in my glove box. So yeah, I'll keep plugging away. Nope, just really shitty. All right, y'all, this is like a week later. This is going to be the end of this video. This is putting the fender, fixing deer damage, fender bracket, and headlight. I spruced up a little bit of the rust. I took out the rust sponge there at the bottom of your radiator. There's a piece of foam that just holds water and salt. So took that out, repainted it, clear coated it. Looks a lot better. Oh, I wire brushed it too. Same thing with these power steering brackets. They were very rusty. So that is it for this video. Next video I'm shooting currently is the ARB bumper itself. So that's a whole nother can of worms. That this will be like a 45-minute video if I put it all together. So that is how you fix a fender on a 4Runner. It's not too bad. The only thing that made it annoying is the snorkel, which most people don't have. So if you didn't have a snorkel, it would have been way quicker than what I did. But that is it. So I'm going to do the bumper now. Wish me luck. Thanks for watching, guys. rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.